Everyone, welcome back to Advice for Wisdom. Let's dive straight into the topic at hand, as I understand your motivation for being here. Have you ever experienced the feeling that someone who held immense significance for you was unable to perceive you? No matter how kind you were, how much space you gave them, or how much you communicated your feelings to them, did they seem to ignore you? It's painful, isn't it? You wonder why they're not thinking about you the way you're thinking about them. Maybe an ex-lover broke up with you and never looked back, leaving you wondering if they cared. It could also be someone you've been attempting to connect with, but are unable to do so due to their busy schedules and mental health issues. This situation isn't just annoying, it's also very disappointing. You begin to question your own shortcomings, question why I don't measure up, and question why I can't hold their attention in the same way they've held mine. The most distressing aspect is witnessing them continue with their lives, leaving you in the background, reliving each encounter and questioning what went wrong. But let me tell you something. You're not alone. Becoming overlooked, underappreciated, and most importantly, forgotten, has caused pain to many of us. It cuts deep because it makes us feel like we have no say in how others see or value us. People don't just think about you at random or because of luck. Most people aren't even aware of the subtle psychological dynamics that influence their perception of you. And once you know how these dynamics work, you'll realize that you do have the power to make a lasting impression on someone's mind. You can become the person they can't stop thinking about, compare everyone else to, and think about long after you leave the room. I know what you're probably thinking. Isn't that manipulative? The answer is no, not if it's done with intention and authenticity. This isn't about playing games or tricking someone into caring about you. It's about understanding human behavior and creating emotional resonance. When you understand what makes people think about someone non-stop, you can show up in ways that are authentic to who you are while still leaving a lasting impression. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine this. You've been in a no-contact situation with someone, maybe an ex or someone you've been interested in. You've been in keeping your distance, trying to move on. But deep down you're wondering if they even notice your absence. Do they miss you? Do they think about you at all? And more importantly, is there a way to shift the dynamic so that you become the person they can't stop thinking about? The good news is the answer is yes. But here's the catch. It's not about chasing them or overcompensating. It's about flipping the script, making subtle yet powerful changes in how you show up, and more importantly, how you don't. Because here's the secret, folks. People are drawn to what they can't easily have. The more accessible you are, the more likely they are to take you for granted. On the flip side, when you create a sense of intrigue, distance, and emotional depth, you become someone they can't ignore. So what does this look like in action? It starts with understanding the psychology of attention and memory. Our minds naturally gravitate towards unique, unexpected, and emotionally charged moments. Psychological triggers are what make people remember things or people long after they've happened. The techniques we're going to talk about in this video directly target these psychological triggers. Mastering unpredictability is one of the easiest and most effective ways to make someone consider you constantly. When someone is predictable, you tune them out because you know their response or action. However, when someone exhibits unpredictable behavior, it captivates you, akin to a puzzle your mind yearns to unravel. Another game changer is leaving an emotional mark. This doesn't mean being overly dramatic or emotional. It means connecting with someone on a level that feels real, unadulterated, and unforgettable, whether it's through shared openness, moments of joy, or even a hint of mystery. The things that connect you to people are what make you stand out. Don't forget the power of luck. People value things that feel rare and short-lived. If you're always reaching out, it's straightforward for someone to take you for granted. But if you step back and focus on your own growth, happiness and confidence, you create a sense of scarcity that makes people realize how valuable your presence really is. These are not mere theories, but proven psychological principles capable of altering people's perception and appreciation of you. The best part is that you don't have to change who you are to use them. These techniques are all about building on your natural strengths, being yourself, and knowing how to navigate the complicated world of relationships with confidence and purpose. But before we get into these powerful strategies, I'd like to ask you a quick question. Want to learn how to make someone always think of you? Please click the subscribe button right now. You're not only helping this channel when you subscribe, you're also joining a group of people who want to master their relationships and step into their power. Are you ready to become unforgettable? Let's commence with the initial strategic advertisement. Planning to be absent, the silent influence, the power that is quiet, folks. If there's someone in your life who's always there, always available and always engaging, and all of a sudden they stop talking to you, you might feel relieved at first, finally some space, but soon you start to wonder what happened. Why did they stop reaching out? Was it something I said? Before you know it, they're on your mind more than ever. This is the hidden power of strategic absence, a subtle but effective way to make someone value you more by stepping back. It's about highlighting your presence, not manipulating emotions. Let's delve deeper into how this works and why it's so effective. When you're always around people, your presence becomes predictable. People naturally like new things and the unknown, so they tend to take the familiar for granted. However, taking a deliberate step back disrupts the routine. Suddenly, you're not available to respond to texts immediately, to every post or to every gathering, which disrupts the rhythm and ignites curiosity. It's almost like they feel like they need to answer a puzzle when you're not there. We see this all the time in life, from limited edition items to once-in-a-lifetime chances. People chase what they think they might lose if you're not there. This concept informs you that your time and energy are not finite. When you're not always available, your options are limitless. Individuals begin to perceive your presence as unique, rather than something they have a right to. This is where things get interesting. Absence works best when paired with memorable moments. Before someone disappeared for a while, think about the last time they impressed you. Maybe it was an amazing conversation, an unexpected act of kindness, or even a moment of shared laughter that stuck with you. These moments create an emotional anchor that they keep going back to when you're not around. Your absence then amplifies these memories, making them miss you even more. But strategic absence isn't about ghosting or cutting people off without explanation. That can often backfire and lead to resentment instead of intrigue. Instead, it's about being intentional. Try stepping back in a way that feels natural. For example, don't answer their messages right away or skip the regular social events. The goal isn't to disappear completely, but to give them space to think about you. Now here's an important tip. Before you step back, leave a clue. It could be a kind gesture, a thoughtful message, or even a small sign of your link. These breadcrumbs remind them of how valuable you are and give them something to hold on to when you're not there. It's like planting seeds in their mind that get stronger over time. For example, let's say you had a heartfelt conversation with someone in which they felt truly understood and valued. Then you give them space. What happens is that they reflect on the conversation and connect with you through those warm, connected feelings. This is the emotional anchor at work. Strategic absence also gives you a chance to re-energize and check in on the relationship dynamics. Are they reaching out to you or seeming uninterested? If they value your presence, they'll notice your absence and try to reconnect. If not, you've learned something useful about where you stand with them. Now, the question arises, how can you approach this in a way that feels authentic? Start small. For example, if you're always the one starting talks, step back and let them come to you. If you always go to every social event, do the same. Skip one and see if they notice that staying calm and not indicating your desire to leave is key. Being genuine is what makes this approach effective. And now, I'm eager to hear your thoughts. Have you ever tried giving someone space and seeing if that changed how much they valued you? Share your story in the comments below with just a few words. It's always beneficial to learn from each other. Stay tuned, because in the next section we'll talk about how to make your absence even more noticeable and leave an indelible mark that keeps you on their mind all the time. Okay, everyone, let's keep going. Number 2. The power of mysterious people. 2. How mystery can power you up. Have you ever noticed how some people stay in your mind for a long time, almost like they left a little secret behind? That's because the unknown is so interesting. One of the strongest psychological triggers that keeps someone thinking about you is mystery. The feeling of not quite knowing everything about them keeps them thinking about you and attempting to make connections. Now, making a mystery isn't about being vague or dishonest. It's about giving away just enough to keep someone interested. When you hide some things about yourself or don't always show your emotions, you become a puzzle that they can't help but try to solve. If you reveal everything about yourself at once, there's no room for mystery. Mystery works will always captivate and perplex people if you allow a degree of imagination to flourish. Our brains naturally seek answers. If someone doesn't know everything about you, it creates a gap, and our minds hate gaps. They'll take into account what you didn't say, do, or feel. People may overthink conversations, make up scenarios, and play games with you because you left them curious. But let me be clear. Being mysterious doesn't mean playing games or ghosting people. It means sharing just enough to connect with them emotionally while holding back just enough to keep them interested. For example, instead of telling them everything about your life all at once, leave some things for them to discover over time. This gives them something to look forward to and keeps you in their mind. Let's look at a common case. When someone asks you about your plans for the weekend, instead of telling them everything, you could say something like, "I have something exciting planned. Maybe I'll tell you about it later." This small hint is enough to get them interested, and it works even better when you add subtle actions like pausing thoughtfully before answering a question or giving a knowing smile without saying what you're doing. Don't be too consistent in your responses, availability, or behavior. If someone knows exactly how you'll react every time, there's no point in trying to figure you out. Instead, surprise them every once in a while by doing something different or bringing a new point of view to the conversation. It's the unexpected that makes you unforgettable. Are you ready to embrace the art of mystery? Let me know in the comments, and I'll stay mysterious. Let's keep them guessing, shall we? Show what they really want. Have you ever met someone who seemed to really understand you? Is there someone who seems to comprehend your thoughts and complete your sentences? This type of connection typically arises when someone reflects your deepest desires, reflecting what you value most. When you can do the same for someone, you create a magnetic pull that keeps them coming back for more. To mirror their desires, you have to pay close attention to more than just their words. You have to also pay close attention to their emotions, passions, and even their unspoken thoughts. People often show what's important to them in small ways, like a sparkle in their eye when they talk about a dream, or a soft smile when they talk about a favorite memory. By identifying these subtle cues, you can delve into the essence of what brings them joy. Let's break it down. The person you want to connect with loves adventure and spontaneity. They love talking about their last-minute road trips or skydiving trips. If you share this love of excitement, then share your own exciting stories or events. Express genuine interest in theirs. By doing this, you align your passions and values with theirs, creating a sense of shared excitement and understanding. But here's the important thing. Mirroring isn't about pretending to be someone you're not. If adventure isn't your thing, but you think they value creativity or emotional depth, show those parts of yourself instead. The point isn't to copy them, but to show how your natural traits align with their inner desires. This is where real connection is born. And let's not forget about emotional alignment. When they're feeling uncertain or overwhelmed, be their anchor of calm and reassurance. Celebrate their accomplishments with equal enthusiasm. People tend to gravitate towards those who uplift their spirits during difficult moments. This mental mirroring makes them feel safe and comfortable, and they'll think of you whenever they want to connect and understand someone. Here's a pro tip. Body language can make the effect stronger. Subtly copy their posture, gestures, or tone of voice during conversations. To mimic their leaning in while talking, lean in more. If they use animated hand gestures to express themselves, you can reflect the same energy. This technique naturally improves the feeling of being in sync and builds deeper rapport. Sharing goals or aspirations is another strong way to show that you understand what they want. If they're really passionate about making the world a better place, show that you value those same goals. When people volunteer or look for meaningful work, they form a bond based on a shared cause that is very compelling. Let me say this again, folks. Making someone feel seen, understood, and valued is what mirroring is all about. It's about showing them that your dreams, passions, and emotions matter to you. When someone feels deeply understood, they naturally want to keep that connection alive because it makes them feel amazing. Are you ready to enter their world and become their ideal reflection? If so, leave a comment below, and I'll reflect their light. People, let's make sure you stay in their minds. Every single day, number 44, leave the story open. Don't close the story. Folks, have you ever found yourself deeply engrossed in a terrifying book or movie, only to have the conclusion leave you in suspense? That feeling of not knowing what happens next keeps the story going in your mind for hours or even days. Now imagine using that same psychological pull in your interactions with someone you want to captivate. By leaving them with an unfinished story, you create a sense of mystery and anticipation that keeps you in their minds. No need to be vague or confusing. Just stop the conversation at the right time to spark interest and make them want to hear more. For example, if you're telling an intriguing story about an unforgettable experience, just as you're about to reveal the highlight, stop and say, "I'll have to finish that story next time." That unfinished story will stick with them, and they'll eagerly await the next chance to hear more. Use this method. Does more than tell stories. There are other ways to leave a story unfinished as well. For example, if you're talking to someone deeply about their goals or dreams, give them a glimpse of your vision, but don't go into specifics. Let them wonder what drives you and what's next on your journey. By doing this, you create a sense of intrigue that makes you want to know more. Perfect timing is essential when using this strategy. You need to know when to end a conversation politely while still making a lasting impression. Just like a well-timed fade-out in music, it doesn't end all at once, but stays on long enough to make you hum the tune long after it's over. You want your links to have the same effect. Your actions and body language can also leave a story open-ended. For example, if you're leaving someone after a conversation that was interesting, give them a warm smile or say something like, "I'll be thinking about what you said." This small gesture shows that the conversation was important to you, leaving them to wonder what you thought. This is where you should exercise caution, folks. While surprise can be intriguing, excessive use of it can be detrimental. It's important to find a balance between clarity, talking to people in a way that builds trust and a connection, but always leaving them with a hint of something more to find out. This makes things intriguing without coming off as manipulative. Don't worry about how this strategy makes you feel. Leaving a story open works best after you've made an emotional connection. If people care about you, they'll be more interested in your story's what-ifs, so make meaningful moments before adding open-ended hooks. Now let's put this into practice. The next time you're talking to someone, try leaving a thoughtful pause or a subtle cliffhanger. Then watch how they can't help but think about you and what might happen next. If you're ready to give it a try, drop a comment below. There is still more to the story. Let's see how many unfinished stories you can fit into your music links. 5. Employ the element of surprise to captivate people's attention. Make the magic of mystery work for you. Do strange things or people intrigue you and make you want more. That's the power of mystery, a magnetic force that keeps people guessing and endlessly interested by giving them more questions than answers. People are drawn to mystery works due to their appeal to our inherent curiosity. When people lack complete information, their minds begin to fill in the gaps, leading them to speculate about your thoughts, motives, and intentions. What's under the surface? This keeps them thinking about you long after you've stopped talking to them. But how do you create mystery without coming off as cold or distant? It's all about how you strike a balance. Share just enough to keep the talk going, but leave some room for interpretation. Instead of saying what you're doing this weekend, you could say, "I have something exciting planned. I'll let you know how it goes." That one sentence turns a boring subject into something interesting. People. Mystery isn't just words. Your body language, tone of voice, and even the way you talk on the phone can add to your mystery. For example, when you text, don't over-explain what you mean. A simple ellipsis or a short pause during a conversation before delivering a key point can leave them wondering what's going on in your mind. The same effect can be achieved in person. Here's another pro tip. Be unpredictable. If people can't guess what you'll do next, they'll pay more attention to you. This doesn't mean you have to be crazy or unreliable. It just means you should show different sides of yourself, like your humor, ambition, or creativity, at random times. Show them just enough to get their attention without giving away your whole hand. Subtlety plays a crucial role in maintaining mystery. Often, the silence speaks louder than the words. Imagine concluding a conversation with a thoughtful statement. Saying something like, "I'm glad we talked today," without going into more detail, prompts them to reflect on what made the moment special. However, exercise caution. Mystery should never come across as manipulative, and overuse or lack of authenticity can lead to its failure. People may think you're not being honest or being difficult to connect with, but the key is to base your mystery on real confidence and self-assurance. When you know yourself well, you don't need to explain yourself too much, and that calm composure becomes irresistibly captivating. If you liked these tips and want to start a subtle intrigue investigation, subscribe to this channel for more videos. If you don't want to miss anything, click the warning bell. Also, if you're ready to learn how to be mysterious, leave a comment below. Keep them guessing, and let's see how many of you are using this powerful sixth trick. Create emotional anchors using moments that people will remember. 6. Use memorable events to create emotional anchors. Emotional anchors are the key to staying in someone's life. Your presence in a meaningful moment makes you part of their emotional core, not just a memory. People are passionate beings who have strong reactions to certain events. Our best or worst memories are how they made us feel, not the event itself. If you can give someone this experience, you'll stay in their minds longer than you think, creating an emotional anchor. Focus on making relationships that are real and come from the heart. Sometimes it's the small, unexpected gestures that hold the greatest significance. For instance, you could share a chuckle during a challenging moment or show someone genuine appreciation unexpectedly. These are the moments that quietly take root in someone's heart. Finding common ground with their values and interests is another way to bond. Let's say someone likes music. Sharing an experience with them, like going to a live concert or even just trading playlists, can make a memory they'll always associate with you. In addition to doing something they enjoy, show them that you value their uniqueness. However, it's crucial to note that emotional anchors are most effective when they are associated with transitional or high-stakes moments in life. For example, if someone is going through a tough time, being the person who listens and supports them will leave an indelible mark. This doesn't have to be a grand act, or even shared. Inside jokes or habits that people repeatedly engage in can become deeply ingrained. Sharing a simple ritual like coffee on Mondays or a quiet evening walk makes them feel connected and comfortable. These repeated shared moments strengthen the emotional bond and make your presence a valued part of their routine. Let's not forget how important it is to make someone feel truly seen. Remember the specifics of their stories, dreams, and even quirks. To bring these up at the right time shows genuine concern. For example, remembering a humorous story they told you weeks ago and tying it into your current conversation adds a layer of thoughtfulness that sticks in their mind. Emotional anchors aren't about tricking people, they're about being real and making connections that feel natural and genuine. If this idea excites you, let me know in the comments, and I'll make memories. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more valuable, life-changing advice and strategies like this. With intention, you can start your road to being unforgettable. Are you ready for the next step? Be calm in the number 7. Do nothing to calm them down during their storm. With no response to their storm, people imagine this as a heated argument with emotions running high. But you're calm and unshaken, giving off a quiet confidence. Mastering. Rather than exacerbating the situation, mastering non-reaction involves serving as a stable foundation that others can rely on. It's a subtle but powerful tool that keeps you in charge of the situation and, more importantly, how they see you. When someone expects you to overreact and you don't, it's like flipping the script. They thought they knew how you'd react, but your grace surprises them. Under the gun. How do you get better at this? Slow down before you respond, whether it's to a heated argument, a passive-aggressive comment, or even a cold shoulder. Take a big breath. The goal is not to hide your feelings, but to use them in a healthy way. Responding calmly doesn't mean you don't care. It means you want to answer with clarity and calmness. Being calm in the face of chaos also changes the way people deal with each other. For example, if someone is upset at you, and instead of snapping back or getting defensive, you listen carefully and validate their feelings without making the situation worse. This calms the tension and makes them reflect on your stability. But non-reaction doesn't mean being passive. It means showing quiet strength. For example, if someone is trying to upset you with criticism or negativity, just acknowledging what they said with a neutral face can disarm them. They'll quickly realize that their tactics don't work on you, which changes the balance of power in your favor. You can use non-reaction not only to resolve disagreements, but also to handle unexpected situations. Being able to adapt without getting angry when someone cancels plans at the last minute, or presents unexpected challenges, demonstrates your confidence and emotional maturity. Even though I don't get upset easily, learning to not respond helps you and the other person. You cease allowing external chaos to dictate your actions. Instead, you transform into a serene focal point, untouched by the surrounding chaos. That's the beauty of this approach. Being calm and collected is a rare trait that makes you stand out in a world where people often act on impulse. It shows emotional intelligence and leaves a lasting effect, making you unforgettable. If you're ready to embody this calm energy, let me know in the comments. I'm not scared, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel for more life-changing tips like this. Let's keep building our inner strength together. The 8th step is to master the art of suggestion. Develop the skill of proposing ideas to generate innovative solutions. In a way, suggestion to plant ideas quietly, folks. Let's look at a method that's both subtle and incredibly effective. Suggestion to plant ideas. It's not about tricking people. It's about changing their minds and choices in a way that seems natural and organic. The power of suggestion lies in how subtly it works. Instead of telling someone what you want them to think or do, help them come to their own conclusion. People are much more likely to accept an idea when they think it's their own, so how do you do it? You can pique people's curiosity and steer their thoughts in a specific direction by framing your words and actions. For instance, if you want someone to perceive you as exciting and adventurous, you could share a story about a spontaneous trip or casually discuss your list of daring experiences. Hinting at the idea without saying it makes them curious and lets them figure it out. Posing thought-provoking questions can open their minds to possibilities they hadn't considered previously. For example, have you ever thought about how much fun it would be to try something completely new? This not only makes them curious, but it also builds excitement and anticipation. Important parts of this approach are also nonverbal cues. Your tone of voice, body language, and even the way you put together your words can all give hints without you saying them directly. For example, a knowing smile. It's simple to change how people understand what you say. You can achieve this by raising your voice or pausing briefly before a crucial point. When planting ideas, timing is very important. You want to suggest when the person is receptive. For example, if someone is complaining about their routine, that's the perfect time to suggest an idea that fits with their desire for change. By meeting them where they are emotionally, your suggestion feels more relevant and appealing. One of the best ways to get proficient at this is to watch and listen to the other person. Pay attention to their concerns, interests, and goals. When your idea fits with what they value and want, it seems less like persuasion and more like a natural next step in the conversation. The beneficial thing about planting ideas through suggestion is that it encourages collaboration. Instead of feeling pressured or coerced, the other person feels empowered to act because they think it was their choice all along. This builds trust and strengthens your relationship with them. So, if you're ready to start using the power of suggestion to make a difference, share your thoughts below. I carefully plant my ideas, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you find them appealing. That way, you'll never miss another way to improve your connections and relationships. 9. Use the pain of loss to keep them thinking about you. Loss is a powerful way to stay in their minds. One of the strongest researchers have found that the fear of losing someone or something is a powerful emotion that can affect choices, relationships, and behavior. If used in a smart way, it can strengthen connections and keep you in someone's thoughts. Why does the fear of loss work? Our minds inherently value what we fear we might lose. This is why limited time offers and scarcity strategies work so well in marketing. But this isn't about manipulating people. It's about showing that you are someone worth cherishing. So how do you use this principle in relationships? First, establish your value. Show off the things that make you special, like your kindness, humor, intelligence, or the way you make others feel heard and appreciated. When people associate beneficial things with you, the thought of losing that connection makes them uncomfortable. Next, learn how to create distance strategically. This doesn't mean playing games or ghosting. It means giving the other person time to think about your value. Just stepping back can help someone understand what they miss about you. They'll start to wonder where you've been and value the times you've spent together. Setting clear limits, valuing yourself, and being aware of your worth is another way to bring out the fear of loss. This alone creates a sense of exclusivity. Providing convenient availability may lead to them taking you for granted. However, by setting priorities and demonstrating your value for your own needs, you subtly communicate to them that they must invest in the relationship to maintain your presence. This idea can also demonstrate what they gain from having you. Paint a vivid picture of the happiness, support, and growth they experience with you. They'll reconsider losing the connection after realizing how rich it is. At the same time, be honest in how you go about this. The goal isn't to cause unnecessary stress or anxiety. It's to remind them of the important role you play in their life. Fear of loss is strongest when the connection is at a turning point, like after an argument or a big event. Taking a step back can help the other person think about what they stand to lose, and it's in these moments of reflection that they're most likely to realize how valuable you are. So, people, harness the power of loss wisely to create a connection so vital that losing it is unimaginable. If this speaks to you, please share your thoughts below. I like making links. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more tips on how to handle relationships and build strong ties that last. Become a personality that will leave a lasting impression on others. Make yourself unforgettable in their minds. Their mind, folks. It's not about manipulating someone. It's about leaving an impression so deep and inspiring that you can't forget them. To become an icon in someone's mind, the first step is to be yourself. Honest and self-assured individuals naturally attract others. When you embrace who you are, your unique qualities leave an indelible mark. Think about what makes you stand out, your kindness, humor, and creativity, and make that impression stronger in your interactions by being unmistakably you. This way, your presence will last long after you've left the room. More than what you say or do, people remember how you make them feel. This could be a meaningful conversation, a shared experience, or even a small, thoughtful act. These moments will stay with someone and make them think of you when they feel warmth, joy, or inspiration. Another powerful way to remember someone is to embody values that are deeply meaningful to them. For example, if they value ambition, show how you're pursuing your goals with passion and determination. If they value creativity, share your unique ideas and insights. With their core values, you become someone they want to be like, not just someone they know. Being unpredictable sparks intrigue and keeps you on their mind. This doesn't mean playing games. Just let your complexity unfold naturally over time. The little things make them curious about you. Creating an iconic presence also means leaving a legacy in their daily life. This could be a piece of advice you gave them that helped them in a tough time, a song you introduced them to that became their favorite, or even a catchphrase you often use. These small imprints keep you alive in their minds, reminding them of your influence and presence. Finally, always be positive and confident. These qualities are magnetic and difficult to forget. Individuals who radiate assurance and optimism, even in moments of vulnerability, inspire hope and possibility, leaving a lasting impression. Folks, becoming unforgettable isn't about trying too hard. It's about being intentional with your actions, words, and presence. It's about creating memories and emotions so powerful that you naturally become a part of their inner world. If this resonates with you, share your thoughts in the comments below with "I choose to stand out." All right, folks, thank you for staying with us until the end. Remember, conclusion. The power to leave a lasting impression is already within you. Now it's time to put it into action. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more insights that inspire and empower. Until next time, stay confident and keep shining.